This is going to be an overview of some important points on using LiveSplit, the Autosplitter that is available for Tomb Raider Remastered, in order to submit Tomb Raider Remastered runs to the speedrun.com leaderboards. We're starting with an empty LiveSplit, no splits, default layout, and I'm going to first show you how to get the Autosplitter into your LiveSplit. So, right-click, edit splits. You can either use a full name of the game, or you can type a shorter acronym like TR123. Typically, you will see an activate button here. I'm unsure why it showed deactivated first, but click activate, then you'll have access to the Autosplitter settings menu. So that's how you get the Autosplitter into your LiveSplit. I'm not going to go over creating the segments and all of that. I'll leave that as an exercise for you to set up on your own, however you want to do that. So in the settings menu, we're already seeing a very important consideration come up. I'm not going to talk about these other settings in detail. I hope they are intuitive enough. For the game time timer issue, what's most important about this is that for full game and IL runs in particular, you'll notice that death run, the game time method changes, but we're talking about the main leaderboards, which are going to be mainly full game and IL runs, and various different rule sets around that. We need to ensure that our LiveSplit layout contains a timer or detailed timer that is using the game time as the timing method. Game time as a term is defined by LiveSplit. There's real time and game time according to LiveSplit. So what this is displaying on the top right of this menu is that the current LiveSplit game time, in this case, is RTA without loads. That stands for real-time attack without loads. Without loads means we are removing the time spent during loading screens. This is the important bit. We are no longer, like the classic games, using regular RTA. We are now performing load removal. So it's very important that you select one of the run modes that has this game time method if you are planning to submit to the leaderboards. For a death run, there might be an exception, but hopefully that is covered by whatever rules set is specific to that run, likely in a category extension page, but I will leave that out for this video. That's beyond the scope. So for a full game or IL run, you need to have a game time method. And we can see I'm getting a warning saying I don't have the timer. So let's fix that, except, well, there is already a timer in the layout. It's right here. And it says it's using the current timing method. This is the first trick. LiveSplit has a global timing method setting that is kind of hard to find. You right-click on the main LiveSplit menu, go to Compare Against, and here at the bottom you have a section where you select the global game time, or a timing method, excuse me. We can resolve our issue by changing this to game time. And if we go back into the settings, we will see no more warning. Our layout's good because we are using a game time timer. However, there could be some reason you have that you do not want to switch the global settings. So say instead you wanted to leave this as real time. The way to resolve this for this layout, in your timer or detailed timer, change the timing method, override the default, and change it to game time. Now, if you go back to your settings menu, you will again see no warning label because you are using a game time timer in your layout. It is very much, if not totally required, it is expected that you are using LiveSplit with load removal timer when you submit runs to the speedrun.com leaderboards. The other important layout consideration I'll go over is if for some reason, say you were copying from a different layout that you have for another game, you might have a scriptable autosplitter in your layout. In such a case, the settings menu will try to get you to fix that. It will say, please remove the scriptable autosplitter in your layout. So, of course, once you remove that, checking back in the settings menu, it will no longer show that warning message. This is to try and prevent undefined behavior or bugs that might happen if you have a scriptable autosplitter running alongside of this LiveSplit delivered component that we have developed for autosplitting Tomb Raider Remaster. The autosplitter works for all 3 base games and all 3 of their expansions inside of this release. And that should cover all of the important details. Thank you for watching.